Hey guys, it's Connor here. In this video, we're talking about how you can get lots of water easily in Dune Awakening. Now, there's several methods that I've used throughout the game getting to the point where I am now. And I'm going to talk about all of them in this video, and you can adopt and use whichever one you want or all of them at once. It's entirely up to you. The best way to get water early on in the game is by using a dew ripper. But if you can get the industrial dew scythe, this one is fantastic, coupled with like big liter johns, ones that hold like 10,000 milliliters of water or more. You can easily farm a ton of water from flowers. Now you will need to track in the game. When you hold T, you'll see it will bring the daytime, nighttime kind of scale at the top right there. But there's a little section that's like a light blue. This is just before the sun comes out. And this is when the dew time is perfect, which means you're going to get the most amount of water from plants when you harvest during that little cycle. This of course means that you have to be primed and ready around some dew flowers just as it's about to be ready. Like here, in this case, there's some flowers here around this little section where I'm at. You'll see as soon as time is ready, you can go ahead and whip out your industrial scythe and use it, and you will literally make a ton of water. You can see how quickly our water is going up. We've already gained like, I think like almost 5,000 milliliters. We're just filling up my big one right now. And also with the industrial dew scythe, you see it pulls water very quickly. So if you can find pools where you can like grab all of them, you'll quite simply be able to fill up all of the water that you need. Like you can see I did like the 4 over there, and if I go ahead and quickly fly here, I can fill up the rest of my liter john like that. I basically filled 1,500 here, 1,500 here, and 10,000 milliliters in here in literally a couple of seconds. So early on in the game, if you do this right and you carry as many water bottles on you as possible and you time it for just before the day starts, you can gain a bunch of water really quickly. And then quite simply return to your water tank and you will just hit the deposit water to, pretty much deposit everything you got. Now, the first major method that I used to get water in the game to get me set up was by using large blood bags, like these blood sacks, and pretty much stacking my inventory with tons of them. Right now you can see I have container capacity of about 45,000 of blood that I can hold, and then use this with a blood extractor, crafting a new one as soon as you can upgrade the better ones, because the better ones can siphon more blood from enemies. Extracting blood from enemies allows you to passively, collect blood and then put them in your blood purifiers at your base to make water over time. But it's going to get inefficient really soon because you only get to turn half of the blood that you collect into water. So it's really not the most beneficial way to get water later on. You'll pretty much bring your blood back to the improved blood purifier. You're going to want to make one of these as soon as possible, and you're going to deposit all the blood that you collect inside of this purifier. This one only holds 24,000, but it's only going to turn about half of this into actual water. So you're only getting 12,000 milliliters of water, which is a bit slow and tedious because you have to extract every enemy and it gets a little bit frustrating. But you can always keep the blood bags that are full with blood to keep refilling these stations, or just build more of these stations. The next method is going to be a bit more of a passive one. This is always going to generate water over time, but at a very slow rate. It works fantastically when you're not playing the game. If you're offline and you're sleeping in real life and you're gone for like 10 hours not playing, it's going to gain you a ton of water during that time. But while you're playing, it's really slow. And this is going to be the wind trap. Very expensive, costs a lot of steel. Depending on where you are in the game, steel can be a bit frustrating to get, as well as the silicone blocks. So you might not be able to build a ton of these, but you also don't need too many. I myself in my base over here only actually have 4 of these, and I haven't actually really found a need to make more. The only thing that might be frustrating with these wind traps is that you have to make these filters that you deposit within them to keep them running. So they're not like running all the time by themselves. You have to put in these filters. You can either put in makeshift filters, and for each one you've put in here, it adds 3 hours of runtime. If you make the standard filter, each one of these is going to add 8 hours to the total uptime. You'll see right now this one only has 16 hours left, and in its storage it only has 2 filters, so 2 times 8, 16. And those filters can be quite expensive. If we go to our fabricator and we go here, you can see the makeshift filter is going to take steel ingots and plant fiber, but you're really going to want to try and make the standard filter, and this one is going to use aluminium ingots, plant fiber, and silicone blocks. And another thing you should know is with the wind traps, when you access them, you go into their storage, they can only actually hold 5 filters at a time. So that's why you're going to want to try go for the bigger one and, you know, just slot one in each time. So I'm pretty much going in here, going to storage, slotting in a filter in its thing. It can only hold 5 filters at a time. Right now, they're all going to have 3, which is fine for me because it buys me a full day and 3 hours. So that means tomorrow I'll just make another 2 or 3 for each of the machines. It's only a big investment once you first build it and make those first filters. But after that, you kind of just like slowly have enough time to like make the filters and it will fall into your rotation of things to do. Now, hands down, the best way to make water is by using the Fremen Deathstills. Now, this is something you will have to follow the Fremen quest line here, the main journey of the game, in order to unlock it. This is actually also going to be a steel product. And this is one that once you make it, you're probably not going to focus on any other ways of getting water ever again. In fact, it is the main way that we get water in our base. You can see here it's going to cost you steel, silicone blocks, and complex machinery. Not really too hard to get. It's a very similar investment compared to the wind traps. Now, these do use a lot of base power, so you're going to need a ton of generators and ways to power your base. We currently actually have 4 of them, and the way it works is that it's going to process a corpse, which takes an hour to process. And after that hour, it's going to give me 25,000 milliliters. Because we have 4 of them here, this means we're going to get a solid 100,000 milliliters of water every hour, as long as we're depositing corpses. And getting a corpse is pretty easy. All you got to do is go ahead and kill an enemy, look over their body, hold F to pick up their body. This will give you a corpse item that weighs 75. And with this corpse, you can pretty much take it back to your base. Go ahead to the Fremen Deathstill and deposit the corpse, and you'll see the hour countdown will begin. This is also incredibly useful because you can stock corpses in your chest. So you can put corpses here. Like I always keep 4 on me so that I can throw them in as I need them. So in this case here, if I just pick out another corpse here and just go to this one that doesn't have a corpse and deposit, boom. Ideally, you want all of these running at the same time, but you have to have enough water for the 25,000 to go in order for you to actually place a corpse in there. Like you can see here, I put this medium water cistern, which allows me to have extra water in the base. And you can see our total that we can have in the base is 278,000 right now. And in an hour's time, we're going to have another 100K, which is not even going to fit in here. So this is going to pretty much like just wait at like the last minute mark to load it up. So you're going to have to end up building a ton of these medium water cisterns as you start making more water and, you know, just maybe even make a large one, because you want to store the water as long as you can, because some of the crafts in this game use a ton of water, which I'm sure you're aware of. Like, for example, aluminum ingots. If I go ahead and I craft 284 of these, that's going to use like 50K water, which actually didn't even dent my water supply. And that's pretty much the best way to get water. There's even a more advanced Fremen Deathstill, but honestly, I haven't needed it yet because I'm fine with water where I am right now. I hope you found this video helpful and you find the right way of making water for where you are in the game right now. And as usual, thanks for watching.